Hello students, in the last class we discussed the helical antenna, and in the today's class I will discuss one more type of antenna which is called a Yagi-Uda antenna. So these are the outlines of this topic. Coming to introduction, the Yagi-Uda antenna is the most brilliant type of antenna, and it is simple to construct and has a high gain, typically about greater than 10 dB. So what makes the brilliancy of this Yagi-Uda antenna is its simplicity structure, as well as it has got very high gain, that is about greater than 10 dB. And the operating frequency for this Yagi-Uda antenna is around 3 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, and which lies in the frequency band of high frequency to ultra high frequency, and it covers a distance around 40 to 60 kilometer. So the distance coverage is about 40 to 60 kilometer. A directional antenna system consisting of an array of coupled parallel dipoles. So it consists of the parallel dipole antennas which are connected in parallelly, and this is commonly known as Yagi-Uda or simply Yagi antenna. So the Yagi-Uda antenna is familiarly the most commonest kind of the terrestrial TV antenna to be found on the rooftops of houses the few decades ago. So these are the pictures of the Yagi-Uda antenna. So hope you have seen these kind of antennas in your childhood. And coming to the working principle, so it works as the electromagnetic device which collects the radio waves or electromagnetic waves, and this antenna is tuned to a particular frequency, will resonate to a radio signal of the same frequency. And coming to the construction part of this Yagi-Uda antenna, so here you can see the two figures, right? So this is the physical structure of Yagi-Uda antenna. So basically it consists of, it's made up of the three elements. One is a reflector, leftmost end, and next one is, next to reflector is a driven element which drive the power, and next one is multiple directors which are placed parallelly. So these are the three types of the elements involved in construction of Yagi-Uda antenna: a reflector, driven element, and the directors. So let us discuss each element. The driven element of a Yagi-Uda antenna is the feed point, basically, which is a feed point, the point where the power is fed, and this feed line is attached from transmitter to the Yagi to perform the transfer of power from transmitter to antenna, right? So it acts as a medium for the transmission of power from transmitter to antenna. So the dipole driven element will be resonant when its electrical length is half of the wavelength of the frequency applied to its feed point. And the feed point in the picture shown above is on the center of the driven element. You can see a feed point, right? So this black color is known as, it is feed point, which is the center of this driven element where it gets power from the transmitter. The director is the shortest of the parasitic element, and this end of the Yagi is aimed at the receiving station, which is closest to the director is closest to the receiving station. So among three among three elements. So this side is receiver and this side is transmitter, and this antenna acts as a transition medium between the transmitter as well as a receiver, right? So to the receiver, which element is the closest? The director is the closest to the receiver. So the director is the shortest of the parasitic element, and this end of the Yagi is aimed at the receiving station. So its resonance slightly higher in frequency than the driven element, and its length will be about 5% shorter progressively than the driven element. So length will be the 5% shorter. So you can observe here. So if it is, so this is the driven element. See the length of this driven element as well as the size or length of each director. So comparatively, so the length of these directors are 5% less than the length of the driven element. The director's length can vary depending upon the director spacing, the number of directors used in the antenna, the desired pattern bandwidth and element diameter. So in this point, what he is trying to say is the length or the spacing between each director depends upon the how many number of directors we use in this antenna and what is the length of each director. So if you want to use more number of the directors in this antenna, so the length of the spacing between each the director should be less. It is always less. The amount of gain is directly proportional to the length of the antenna array and not by the number of directors used. So this is very important point. The gain which is achieved by this antenna is directly proportional to the length of the antenna array. So antenna array means the array of the directors here. So the length of the antenna arrays, not by the number of directors used. Even if you have used 20, 30, 100, 200 directors, right? So gain do not depends upon the number of directors used. It is depends upon the total length of the antenna gain, directivity as well as gain. And coming to the reflector, so the reflector is the element that is placed at the rear of the driven element. So you can see here, so this is a reflector, so this is faced rear to the driven element. Its resonant frequency is lower and its length is approximately 5% longer than the driven element. So what is the length of the director? It is 5% less or shorter than the driven element, but here whereas this reflector length is approximately 5% longer than the driven element. So its length will vary depending on the spacing and the element diameter. The spacing of the reflector will be between 0.1 wavelength to 0.25 wavelength, and its spacing will depends upon the gain, bandwidth and F by D ratio and silo pattern requirements of the final antenna design. So coming to the working part, so reflectors, all three elements plays very important role in antenna working, operation of the antenna. So here reflector drives its main power from the driver and it reduces the signal strength in its own direction, thus reflects the radiation towards the driver and directors. The driven element is where the signal is intercepted by the receiving equipment and has the cable attached that takes the receiving signal to the receiver. The radiator and the driver can place more closer to increase the radiation length towards the director. So these are the electromagnetic wave radiation, right, from the antenna. So this is an example of the geometry of Yakuta antenna where 5 elements are used. So you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it acts as, second one is acts as driven element, the first acts as reflector, and remaining 3 acts as directors. And the spacing between each director is S1, S2, so on and so forth. It could be uniform or it could be non-uniform also. So this is the radiation pattern produced by the directional antenna. So you have got unidirectional, omnidirectional antenna, right? So by the directional antenna, the radiation pattern is like this. So this is the direction of mean beam, and we also have a back lobe as well as a side lobe. So this antenna exhibits a directional pattern consisting of the main forward lobe and the number of the spurious side lobes. The main one of these is the reverse lobe or back lobe caused by the radiation in the direction of reflector, because the reflector is the first element we placed, next one is what? The driven element, and the third one is the director, right? So when radiation is happened through the direction of reflector, so it will cause the reverse lobe. The antenna can be optimized to either reduce or to produce the maximum level of the forward gain. So this is a picture of antenna used in the signal reception, TV signal reception. So I don't know how many of you seen this one. So in our childhood, right? So I have seen this type of antenna which is placed with the roof of house, top roof of house. The Yagi antenna is particularly useful form of RF antenna design. It is widely used in applications where an RF antenna design is required to provide gain and directivity. So in this way, the optimum transmission and reception conditions can be obtained. So this is the picture of Yagi-Uda antenna used in the radar system, with the gain achieved is 69. So it is somewhat large in structure, the dimension is very large, and the advantages are like this. The unidirectional beam of moderate directivity, so it is unidirectional with moderate directivity. The gain is of order of 8 dB, or front to back ratio, that is F by B ratio is about 20 dB, and it is 3 element configuration. The super directivity or gain antenna due to its high gain and beam width per unit area of the array. As the elements increases, the directivity also increases. And the construction is simple, less cost and simple to read. So these are some advantages. And coming to the disadvantages, gain is not much more. It needs more driven elements for longer distance, and bandwidth is limited. So application is, it is a unidirectional antenna, so it can be used for television receivers. They provide better tuning because of its large bandwidth and has decent gain. So this is about the introduction and working principle as well as construction, advantages, disadvantages and applications of Yagi-Uda antenna. So in the next class video we will discuss the one more type of antenna. Thank you.